Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. I'm your host, Kenshiro. It is the last show of 2020. Whew, thank God. That means this year is just about over. But before we go ahead and turn the page over to 2021, we're going to look back at 2020 and kind of reminisce on the 2020 that should have been. The things that we should have gotten this year that we didn't, but also kind of try and appreciate the things that we did get in 2020 and also recap Wonder Woman 1984 as if, you know, it needed any other bad news. Introducing who's going to be on the show with me today. To the right of me is the great Daikuji.
Hey, everybody. How you guys doing? Good riddance to this year.
Good riddance, indeed. And from remote, we got Fallen Marvel and King Amarak. What's up, guys?
Hi, everyone.
What's going on, everybody?
So we got a lot to get to, and as we always do around here, and as customary, let's run the gamut.
Run the gamut.
So what I told you was true from a certain point of view.
Speaking of certain points of view, certain points of view say that Wonder Woman was a terrible movie. Other points of view say it was a good movie. But if some reports are to be believed that part of the reason that Wonder Woman 1984 even debuted on HBOMax was to help bolster the subscription base of HBOMax. And kinda, maybe, sorta didn't do exactly what it was supposed to do, because the reports are saying that the subs for Wonder Woman 1984 or for HBO Max for the Christmas holiday only grew about 600,000 subscriptions. I mean, that maybe sounds pretty good, but when you compare it to the, like, I think 1.2 or 5 million subscribers that Disney Plus got for Soul, yeah, it kind of isn't really hitting the mark. So, yeah. Fallen?
For all those that have probably watched it on Christmas Day since then, the movie has been rather polarizing. Like Kenshiro said, you got people who said it was good, some people said it was an atrocity, and all I can say is, for me personally, I can't say that it was absolutely terrible film, but I can't say it was exactly good either, especially comparing it to the first film. So I'm just kind of scratching my head as to wonder how it got to this point, because this movie leaves a lot of hows and whys, and there are a lot of plot holes in this.
Yep.
And that's not even talking about like how flimsy character motivations were outside of Diana. So it was
and we're gonna touch on that a little bit more in depth in the very next topic. Amarak, his name was escaping me for a second. Amarak, you got anything for the gamut today? Sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. 2020 is taking my brain.
Well, that's the only thing I got that's worth anything right now. Is I'm just glad this one's over. Let's see what the next one brings.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got a couple more things. Oh, and Dido right here. He asked us.
We got two more bad news if 2020 hitting again. We got Adolfo Shabadoo Quinones.
Yes.
And Marianne Summers, who played Dawn Wells, who played Marianne Summers.
Oh, no way! Marianne died?
Yeah, Gilligan's Island.
Yeah,
Passed away today, which is very surprising and shocking.
I think she had complications with COVID.
Yeah, she had COVID. I don't know what happened to Shabadoo.
Oh, damn.
And it was odd that a friend of mine, Big Preem, if you're out there watching, we were just talking about breaking yesterday. Because I said something to Electric Boogaloo, and he goes, "Why does everybody have to add Electric Boogaloo on there?" I was like, "Just because that's how it sounds." You said, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, man.
You know, and then we started talking about breaking a little bit, and then next day, like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, man. It is crazy, and like 2020 has really taken a lot of people from us, very surprisingly. Honestly,
to say the least.
and nobody is going through this unscathed. It touches everybody everywhere. A couple other really brief points that I kind of want to bring up. Out there, 2021 is going to see the debut of a brand new Spider-Man outfit. If you haven't seen it yet, you kind of really need to see it. Like I don't even know how to describe this thing. Like it doesn't look like Spider-Man. It doesn't look like he'd be able to sneak up on anybody. It's like gray.
It's different. It's different.
Very different. Very different. Like we're
I
talking.
don't hate it.
Uh-huh.
I don't hate it, but it's different.
Yeah. Amarak, did you see Spidey's new outfit?
Yeah, I saw it. Sadly, like the color scheme. I like the colors and so, like if they would put it in a game or something, it'd have been fine. But to make it like a canon suit for comics and stuff, it doesn't fit. It doesn't look like it belongs anywhere. But the 2099 suit, people had issues with that when they started changing the colors and things of it. I was one of them. But they did the same thing about that. So this may blow over and be the same deal. I don't know exactly why they made the suit. Yeah. Like I don't know why this was created here. It's not the time. You got too much Spider-Man stuff going on right now. Don't change the damn suit.
Yeah, man. Eugene Maddox is over in the chat. Hello. He's asking, are we not posting the pic? I apologize. That was poor preparation on my part. I will throw the picture in the Facebook chat for you to see, and you can judge for yourself, and we can talk about it during the Power is Yours segment. But right now, we're going to move on to the Wonder Woman 1984 review. Moved a little too fast there. Follow Marvel. You ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So for all of you comic book superhero fans out there, as you may or may not know, I don't know if you don't. If you don't, that's kind of weird. But Wonder Woman 1984, WW84, however you want to pronounce it, came out on Christmas Day in theaters and on HBOMax for no additional fee. So if you already subscribed, you already can watch the movie right now. And I did said thing actually right after the holiday, and I watched it for myself. And I have to say that this movie definitely is yet another addition to the pile where the fans are divided on it. Some liked it, some absolutely hated it. To my surprise, when I started seeing some of the negative reviews, I was like, man, there's no way it could be that bad and whatnot. And I went in wanting to love the film, but I can see where the negative reviews come in after watching the film. It relies way too heavy on the 80s aesthetic, which I thought was going to be problematic when I first saw the trailer, because they were kind of hammering it home. It was like, yes, this movie is set in the 80s, but they definitely hung on that notion for quite a bit, to the point where it felt like a hammy 80s movie in the worst way. And it's like in comparison to the first movie, it's like, yes, the first movie was a period piece set in 1918, but it still wasn't like one of those things where it's like every other second they're reminding you that it's World War I or whatever. It was like we could obviously see it. So it was more story based, and they developed characters better, they paced it better, and stuff like that. This one here, they kind of retreaded some things, but character-wise, the development just was not there.
Right.
The action was decent.
When we had it.
When we had it. I don't know, like I'm just not sure, dude. Like they literally went like nearly an hour with just exposition.
Let me jump
for
in
like
there
an hour.
Let me jump in there real quick. So, and obviously we don't want to recap the whole movie, because there may be some people that maybe didn't see it or are literally just basing it off of our reactions. Hopefully they did see it for themselves and they can judge for themselves. But what struck me was was just like, I remember my feelings when I saw the trailer back, I think it was like way back in March when the trailer first came out. Was it March or February? It was like way earlier in the year when the 1984 trailer came out, and I was so excited. Like everything about it oozed 80s. It was like the music, the neon lights, the bright color. It popped, man. It was like everything about it led you to believe that this movie was going to be like the big DC hit. Like literally, after I watched the movie, I kind of felt like Obi-Wan on Mustafar. It was like, you remember when he was saying to Anakin, he was like, "You were the chosen one." Like, what happened? Like, you were the chosen one. What happened here? Like, literally, that's how I felt. But you know, I all kidding aside, I enjoyed the film, but much like you, Fallen, I can understand why people were disappointed in it, because I think what they wanted or what they expected was something that, you know, didn't make people think that it was going to be like, they wanted the warrior woman, the warrior princess or warrior woman, Wonder Woman. They didn't want necessarily, you know, love triumphs over all, which honestly, that is who Wonder Woman is at her core character anyway. You know,
Yeah.
And some people may not necessarily know that because of how they portrayed her in the first movie, and she was so kick-ass, and you know, she could do whatever, and she beat Ares single-handedly and all this other kind of stuff. But at her core, Diana's about peace and love. Like, she's the avatar of love in the DC universe. So I think the other thing, and I'm going to turn it over to Dido, you see it? You saw it, right? Okay, so I want to hear what both Amarak's thought and what you thought of the film. Like, where did this film go wrong, if it went wrong for you?
For me, it was a total meh. Like, I'm sitting there watching it, and most movies, if I was at the theater, it would be different. I literally paused it, went upstairs. Most time, I never pause anything. Went upstairs, got some food, you know, used the bathroom, came back down. I was just like, you know what? And it was 2.5 hours long, and I'm just like, it did not need to be 2.5 hours long. Mm-hmm. The trailer felt more like the 80s than the whole movie did.
Yeah. How do you have an 80s movie and no 80s music? I don't understand.
I don't even remember much.
Yeah, maybe like two songs. Like, two
I heard someone complain about how can you mess up anything from the 80s with the music? You have,
it's hard.
It should be
it's like impossible,
and it'll work.
I didn't hate the movie per se. I just thought it was
it could have been a lot better, right?
Yeah, it could have been better. I was just like, it was just a total, you know, a meh moment. Like, okay,
right, and I guess that and when people hear us ragging on it, we're not saying that, okay, and let's kind of coalesce this thing. We don't blame. It's not Gal Gadot. It's not Chris Pine. It's not Pedro Pascal. It's not Kristen Wiig, who I really liked. Right? Yeah. We didn't get enough Cheetah, in my opinion. Yeah. But the story itself just didn't hit. You know, it's not the actor's fault. I think everything about the film was perfully cast, but the story just didn't hit.
Something about the pacing, the story. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Amaraka, share your thoughts on it before we move on, and I'll go back to
didn't
Fallen.
See it yet. I've done a lot of reading, and I use my resources to check on things because I don't get spoiled by stuff. So I go by everything I could possibly see by it. But from what I've seen so far, it's just a lot of things that is just one of those how could you mess this up kind of deals. Like 80s music, you can't mess that up. 80s clothing and like just the theme and places that you can go that still look like it's from the 80s, that you could have made this, everything look a little better than it did. Because I've seen some. I haven't seen enough to like base any of my own opinions off of a lot of things. So I am going to watch it. But I'm going to watch it knowing that there's a chance I'll be disappointed.
Okay.
I still have to get the understanding of what they were trying to do. And one question I do have to ask, hopefully this isn't a spoiler or anything like that for anyone else, or we can save it for the end of the show. Does it seem like this was a setup for something else? Like, does it seem like there's a part two coming?
The only thing that was
not necessarily, but it's
the little stinger at the end was so lame in my honest opinion, though.
You think so?
I thought that was lame.
I mean, it was
like it was pandering.
It was, but it was kind of
shit, dude. Normally you'd be excited, and it should have been a more excitable thing, but just the way they did it just felt.
Fallen, what do you think?
See, I like the stinger, but I will agree that it was too on the nose.
Yeah,
it was definitely too on the nose, but because of how they're essentially trying to introduce this character, how they did it, whatever. I'm fine with it, but definitely how they handled it. It was just kind of like, to be honest, that was probably like one of two things about the movie that I actually came away with really liking, which was that, and then the parts when we see young Diana. So, and it's like, besides that, like the rest of the movie is just kind of like,
yeah. I've heard a couple of people say that they don't understand what the first part of the film was even in there for, because it was like
it was just about that line about the truth
right. mattering,
and it was supposed to do something with setting a theme, but the movie doesn't follow up with trying to see like come full circle with that thing. They try, but it doesn't work the way they thought it was. And the thing is, as far as between that and as far as consistency goes, like this movie was inconsistent as hell.
Couple of things out of the chat before we move on. So Anthony Lewis, longtime viewer of the show, friend of the show, the villain wasn't strong enough to make you feel that the hero was in danger. It's hard to see a superhero beating up regular people. Cheetah should have had a bigger role. Now, the one thing that they did do kind of, which I liked, even though it was the wishing stone, was how the whole monkey paws aspect of it, where Diana wished for Steve back, but in exchange it took her powers, right? That aspect of her kind of like being hurt by bullets or not being fast enough to deflect the bullets and kind of being hurt and kind of Cheetah getting in her ass and all this other kind of stuff, I thought was pretty good. But the ending kind of made it anticlimactic when Diana had, renounced her wish, got her powers back, and she pretty much just handled Cheetah handily. She just handed her ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the whole invisible jet thing, like what the hell?
I was like, oh, how they threw that in there, like.
Dude, they literally just pulled that whole thing with her being able to do what she did just out of her ass. Like there was really no reason for it. It's just like, even like the setup with the whole scene with them like going up in like just them getting a jet. It's just like wait a minute. It's like, aren't you rich? Like, like.
Yeah, I didn't understand where she walked into. She had clearance,
she works at the Smithsonian, and that was the Smithsonian.
Oh, I wasn't sure. I was like,
that's what that was.
She didn't have permission.
That's what that was. I mean, honestly, there was a lot of questions about it. Again, like I said, and I hate to belabor the point. It's not that it was a terrible movie. And I don't like people calling it trash because I think that's unfair.
Yeah, it's not trash.
Yeah, it's not trash. It just wasn't. It didn't meet expectations.
Before we move on. Most people don't know what trash is. I watch trash films on purpose,
right?
Because you don't know what crap is until you actually watch it. Most people think that trash is trash. It's not even close to being trash.
No, it's not trash. I don't think it's. You know what? Here's the craziest thing. And Fallen, you can talk about this and take us out. So the craziest thing that I heard was someone said, "Dude, Birds of Prey is a better film than this," and I'm just like, "What are you talking about? Birds of Prey is a terrible film."
No, I think what they confuse is what they find more entertaining versus what's actually better or good. It's like, okay, for entertainment value's sake, that's kind of true, but everything else, not so much.
All right, that's fair. I like that. All right, we're gonna leave it there. I'm sorry, you were saying? What was the last thing you were saying?
No, I was just saying I was just gonna leave it at that. It's just It's a different perspective when it comes to entertainment value.
I agree. Anthony Lewis, perfectly stated. We wanted Wonder Woman to save 2020. She couldn't do it. Perfectly stated. All right. So on that note, we're going to move on to a poll that we put out to the Culture Junkie Nation, and it's listing the top 5 things that we wanted to get in 2020 that we didn't. Daito.
Yo, so 2020, when it came to movies and television for the most part, and not all TV, we did get some TV shows, but some of them, the ones we were really looking forward to, we did not get. And we have a new poll voted on by you guys in the Culture Junkie Nation, and it's the top 5. I'm going to just read off the top 5. There's a lot more than that, but the top 5 movies and TV shows that we wanted to see that we didn't get this friggin' year. And starting with number 5.
Actually, wait. Can you go all the way down to the bottom?
Wait,
because I think you were like the only person to vote for this one.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, it's 2 votes.
It's 2 votes.
And I like the franchise, so I don't give a care. And that franchise happens to be the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Fast and Furious 9.
Fast
9
you know, it's gotten friggin' out of control. Don't care. I want to see what they're going to do. I want to see how they land in space. But whatever. They didn't land in space. Here's number 5. Number 5 was Venom, Let There Be Carnage. That right there was a movie that definitely I mean, the first one was, I wouldn't say meh. It was a little bit more than a meh. It was, I enjoyed it. I just didn't understand why they made that movie without Spider-Man.
Well, they had to.
Of course they had to, but it was just, now they're going to try to bring Spider-Man in somehow.
Yeah,
I don't see the connection.
It's confusing.
But
I grant you.
It's going to be movie connection.
Venom looked great, though.
Yeah,
Venom looked great. He did.
He looked really good.
He looked great. All right, what's number 4?
And that got 12 votes by you guys out there. Number 4 is WandaVision, which is going to be here next month.
Yeah.
Pins and needles.
Yeah, I can't wait,
them.
man.
Got 13 votes. I'm really looking forward to that. And I think I know why they held that back, because it probably has a lot to do with the cinematic universe. And had anything came out, even though Black Widow was supposed to come out before WandaVision and before Falcon and Winter Soldier, but we're going to see how that turns out next month, January 15th.
And I know, reading from the list, Falcon and Winter Soldier actually is the next one on the list. How many votes did that one get?
It got 21 votes from you guys out there.
All right. Now, technically, Falcon and Winter Soldier, we were supposed to get back in August.
Yes.
Yeah, we were supposed to get back in August, and WandaVision was supposed to come out in December.
Yes.
So pushing WandaVision back a little bit doesn't necessarily hurt it, but we're still going to get it. But, we wanted it like now. Like, could you imagine? If we had gotten WandaVision and we were coming down off of the high of the Mandalorian season 2.
That's
could you
exactly
imagine?
what they should have did, in my
could you
honest
imagine
opinion.
that?
That would have been super perfect. I don't know why they wait until the middle of January, but what have you. We're going to wait. We're going to watch it. And I know everybody out there that like the cinematic universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, will be there with me on Disney Plus watching that one. As you already said, Falcon and Winter Soldier, we didn't get it. I was looking forward to that one too. And it's not till next spring or next summer?
What's that?
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, next spring.
I think that is. But the number 2 was Ghostbusters Afterlife with 25 votes.
That's number 2. That was number 1.
Number 2. It's number 2 now. It got knocked down.
Okay.
And I want to see that movie as well. But it just, again, as much as I loved Ghostbusters in the 80s, you're not going to capture that feel. It's not happening. It's not coming back. They might have a good story in there. I think they should have a Ghost Egon in there. My honest opinion, I think they should have did Ghostbusters Extreme. That would have made more sense, because that literally could have felt like the Ghostbusters, could have had the same comedy like the Ghostbusters, and continued it on. Granted, Harold Ramis passed away, but they could have had Ghostbusters Extreme cartoon, and you didn't see the cartoon? Oh, well, and they could have continued the movie with those people taking over the Ghostbusters, and maybe Ray came in or Peter, doubted Peter, but whatever, came in and kept it going. Regardless of that, I can't wait to see what's going on. And number 1, with 30 votes voted by you guys out there in Culture Junkie Nation, and you guys can join us at Culture Junkies on Facebook if you guys want to participate in any of the polls that we put up. Number 1 is Black Widow, which hurt my heart so much.
Yeah, man.
Because I was really looking forward to that, because I wanted to know why this movie was being made. Is it happening before such and such Endgame or what have you? Or was it like as she was falling, she's replaying like the light flashes before your eyes type thing?
Oh, you know what? That's interesting.
Yeah, would that have been it? We don't know.
Right.
And we got to wait till May of 2021 to answer that question.
So, speaking of that, right? So, I want to ask a couple of things. I need to actually, a couple of things. Ask the panelists. Yes, no, you're happy that Disney held on to Black Widow to show it in theaters?
Well, for me personally,
I mean, just yes, no, just yes, no.
That's a hard one, because I want to see it, and I don't care if I'm on my couch or in the theater. I want to see it.
So you want to see it? So you say no. So
I
no
want
for
to
you.
see it.
So no. So no for you.
Right.
What about you, Fallen?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a yes too. What about you, Amarat?
It's a yes. The theater adds a certain type of experience.
Agreed. And dude, Speaking of theater, can you imagine if Wonder Woman 1984 had come out?
You know what? If I could have seen that in the theater, like
The
without
theater's
seeing it
only-
at home, it probably would have been different because of the way the sounds and
You know what?
you know,
Maybe.
I
Maybe.
see. I would have come out the same exact way I did when I was at home. The thing is that like obviously it's different when you're in the theaters versus when you're at home. But if I'm really thinking like if I saw this in theaters, I probably would be more upset at it than I currently am now.
okay, not
So-
to drag
But you
out
didn't
and
have to
waste time
pay
on the
any
thing.
actual money for it. I mean, you're paying for
Right.
the service, but not for that
Yo, man,
individual movie.
how you gonna be more mad you didn't pay for money in the theater to see it, dog? Like, come on.
You gotta have to think about this as the people, from the people who have made this thing's view is this was not a movie that was being made over the years to show at home.
Yeah,
This
No,
was
right.
made
Most
for a
movies
It was
are.
made for the theater.
When you make
Like,
a
dude, it
big
was
movie,
IMAX.
it's
Shot in
made
IMAX.
for a
Yeah.
theater.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was shot in
if this
IMAX.
was an IMAX, it'd probably be number one in the box right now because
Oh,
there's
without question. Without question.
but
Yeah.
watching it at home, you're expecting, not even knowing it, that subliminal shit. You're expecting the movie experience, but you're at home and you're comfortable and you're in a completely different mindset. So you're ingesting the movie even differently at that point.
Yeah.
So
No, you're
it's
right.
a lot of cloudiness to this, which sucks, which is why I'm going to watch a movie that literally everyone said no, I shouldn't.
No, watch it for yourself. You absolutely should watch it for yourself. All right, so we're gonna move on to the main event, and we're gonna recap the things that we did get in 2020 that we are most thankful for. The main event. All right, so check it. Like I said, 2020 has been one hell of a year. I think a year that we'll never forget. They'll go down in the annals of history as one of the most traumatic, catastrophic years economically that the world has ever seen. But that it's not all doom and gloom. There's a lot of good things that did come out of it, and so we're gonna recap some right now. So I want everybody around the room to say the one thing that came out in 2020. If we can try and not have any overlap, the one thing in 2020 that you're thankful for that you got to get this year, that came out in 2020. So Amarak, I'm gonna start with you. What's the one thing that came out in 2020 this year that you're happy did come out in 2020?
Why would you start with me?
Cause man, pressure burst pipes. Let's go.
I don't know. This was such a weird year. Nothing made an impact.
You didn't get a PlayStation 5 yet?
No.
Oh, that would have been my answer. But no, I
Yeah.
didn't get that. So that don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Nothing had that
only
impact
two
of, like,
people in this only two
yay.
people in this stream can say they got a PS5.
Both of y'all.
I didn't search to get one. So
Don't get mad.
it's
Don't
about-
get mad.
I'm not mad at
No,
all.
I'm not talking about you. I'm
Yeah.
talking about Amarak. Don't get mad.
No, I'm fine. I'm
Don't get
fine.
salty.
I'll eventually get one. I
Yeah,
got
you'll get
everything
one.
I need, so
Yeah,
it's okay. But
eventually get
Yeah,
one.
you'll get one.
there's really been nothing that happened this year or that I've received or done anything with it that has made any impact on anything.
you're telling me, okay, you know what? Because somebody else might say it. I'm not gonna say it. Fallen, what's your thing?
As far as this year goes, man, I think entertainment wise, it really wasn't a whole lot that I could think of that like I was really falling over myself. The
I mean, just anything. Come on, man. Y'all, come on, help me
It's-
out here. Anything.
no, trust me, I'm trying. Like
I'm trying. Like,
Like you
I'm
can't
with-
even say.
like I'm trying.
Okay, so check it out. Like even in the chat, Wolverine Solid X says the Miles Morales Spider-Man game. That's one thing.
which I haven't played yet.
That's your own fault. It's on PS4 too, man. So
I'm
I don't
waiting.
even
I'm
want to hear no
waiting for the
excuses.
PS5. I'm just waiting for the PS5. I'm not gonna.
I hear you.
play-
I hear you. Or I'll throw out another one. The awesome versus battles that have been popping up on Instagram. Like that's like been a big
I've
deal.
never seen not a one.
You never
That's
seen, like,
kinda
dude,
cool.
those
That-
have
that-
been
that was kind of
good.
a cool thing this year.
Those
That
have
was a
been
cool
good.
thing that they started this year.
Yeah.
It's like my only issue is that like now that like folks are like just making like goofy verses. So and
Yeah.
it's like because you got like the fan submitted ones where they said like this person versus that person, and it'd
Yeah.
be like really I don't know. The only one that I actually really enjoyed. And granted, I still have to see the Snoop and DMX one. I didn't watch that one, but I really did enjoy the Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight one.
Yeah, that one was
that
cool.
that one was cool. That one was really
Yeah, like now, see, the one I thought was gonna get really messed up was that Brandy Monica one. I thought they was gonna.
That happened.
Yeah, it happened. Yeah, like they did it together.
Didn't
but
they do
like,
this on The Boy Is Mine together or no?
Yeah, they did. And dude, let me tell you, that beef between them was legendary, bro.
Wow.
Like, so I thought they might have been like sneak dissing, like while they was literally on the stream together or something. But for the most part, it went off without a hitch. Yeah. Now, the one that had the most problems that I was looking forward to the most was the Teddy Riley versus it was Teddy Riley versus somebody else.
Babyface.
Teddy Riley versus Babyface. Dude, there was technical problems up the wazoo on that shit. Like,
that was not something that was ready for broadcast yet. Like,
yeah, man, like, come on.
Because I think they had to come back and do it on like another day. I think it was just like
that shit was wild.
I
heard
man. All the jokes. I heard all the jokes about it, dude. Like,
Hannah Omega. Like, so let's read a few in the chat, right? So, let's see. May says he was thankful for the video game award show, which actually was really well done. Like we covered that show, and that game that award show was really well done. The video game awards.
This year, yeah. I think for how they had to organize it, I think this year was pretty good. I will say, well, speaking of video game related or whatever, I mean, obviously a highlight was like the PlayStation showcases this year were really good.
The PlayStation showcases?
Like the showcases, like the one they had for the PS5, like before they
before they launched it?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like those were, I think, were really, really well put together.
Okay.
So I mean, so much so that I bought mine day one. So obviously.
Okay. So. In the chat, DeMarcus Smith is like Jeezy versus Gucci. Thankfully, nobody got shot. That's wrong, but yeah, he's right.
Oh,
God. Imora is talking about getting a PS5. That was definitely a highlight for me. I was thankful for that. One thing that I wish I could have gotten that I didn't get my hands on is one of those elusive NVIDIA 30 series cards. I wish I could have gotten my hands on one of them. Let's see. Wolverine Solid X about G4 returning. That's actually not bad. You know,
G4.
Dude, like I remember talking about this. I don't think we talked about it on the stream, but I posted it in the Culture Junkie Nation. If y'all haven't seen it before it's up on YouTube. You need to watch it. Y'all need to see Sessler's review of Cyberpunk. That shit was classic Sessler, man. It reminded you,
Sessler.
Dude. It reminded you everything that was great about X-Play and G4 TV. Like, this shit was money. It was great.
I might have to check that out.
You haven't watched? I'm surprised you haven't watched it yet,
dude. You know the YouTube algorithm. I usually get stuck lost watching.
Oh man, dude, you need to watch that after the show. You need to watch that. That shit was great. That shit was absolutely fantastic.
Look, the Christmas reveal special thing they did was actually like well done.
Christmas reveal.
They did a holiday something thing.
Oh yeah, that was leading up to Thanksgiving. I think I watched that. That was actually kind of
Thanksgiving.
funny.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it was like, oh shit, it kind of looks like G4 is back to
Thanksgiving. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you were right about
Thanksgiving
that
thing was pretty funny. Like I thought that was entertaining. It's like that took me back to like the early to mid 2000s, like watching that, and it was just like, dude, like I remember this, like when, memories, man.
So I'm not trying to put my man on the spot, right? But we talked about this earlier in the week, while we were playing Gridiron. I think while we were talking about it, we were playing Gridiron.
We need to try Gridiron.
My man, yeah, you do. You need to hop on Gridiron with us. It was fun. But Spotty was in the chat, and he was talking to us about we were talking about G4, and Spotty has said that his first crush in his life, and like in his life ever, was Sarah Jean Underwood on G4, and I was just like, like she was like, what are you talking about? You know, that was your first crush ever? He's like, dude, I was like 12 years old when G4 came out. I was like, bro.
I was like,
that makes me old as hell. Yeah. But yeah, I get it. She was like, this woman is fine as hell. She's talking about video games. I think I'm in love. I've been there. I understand. I get it. Marcus Smith, thank you for the 200 stars. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. King Takeem says, I missed the narrator of X-Play, the disembodied voice. Yeah, okay. I remember that. He also said the Jill Scott versus Erykah Badu was magnificent. Honestly, I thought that was. Yeah, I thought that because of Erykah Badu being kind of who she is, I kind of thought that one wouldn't really go off without hitch. Like Jill Scott, I love me some Jill Scott. Like for real, that's just fine as hell. I mean, I'm not gonna front.
I think for me, one of the things that nobody has mentioned really is and it's just fresh in my memory because this whole entire year went by as a flash. Really, is The Mandalorian, and specifically the last episode. I mean, I'm not the biggest mark when it comes to friggin' seeing the old school stuff, but I was extremely happy seeing it. Yeah, I like when they tell a great story. I do like when they include, the classic characters. Personally, I want to see more original stuff from Star Wars, but that still was extremely satisfying to see that green lightsaber. As you know, green is the best color, and going around cutting people up like the robots, rather a little bit like the Darth in Rogue One.
Yeah. Now,
Rogue One.
And we could bookend this, right? Because it's like, in a way, we kind of still had Rise of Skywalker at the beginning of the year. Because
that was at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, that was like, it came out last year.
It did?
Yeah.
It feels like it came out last
December.
ago.
Yeah, it came out last December. So, like, literally, we watched The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. And then a year later, we get this delicious Mandalorian season 2, which, you juxtapose that with the people that hate the sequel trilogy, like literally just loathe it. And then you got, people on YouTube like Star Wars Theory, like literally shedding tears in his reaction video watching that. Yeah. And by the way, poo-poo to Pablo Hidalgo for that bullshit that he did. That was trash, man. That was trash. A Lucasfilm executive, Pablo Hidalgo, like literally kind of made fun of Star Wars Theory for being emotional
he's
over
a piece
over
of crap.
I'm like, dog, man. That was
the guy loves that stuff, and he's enough to freaking create a whole channel where he just lives, breathes, and eats Star Wars. Man, poo-poo on that piece of crap. He is a piece of crap, poo-poo head.
Yeah, he is. That was trash. That was absolute trash. Another great thing that we got this year. I'm trying to remember. We got. I want to say 2020 did give us Cyberpunk, probably one of the most buggy releases of games that we've ever seen in a while. Amaraki, you got something? What are you thankful for? That came out this year?
As I was sitting here looking at the big ass rainbow firing PC here, I thought that I got this thing this year. If I wouldn't
you got his PC? Yeah. Wait, you built it yourself, right?
Yeah, I did, for the most part. I honestly wouldn't be doing any of this of what I'm doing. Period. If I wouldn't have got like this setup. So I'm thankful for all of this right now. This is great.
Hey man, you know what? Best piece of advice that I could give to you or anybody else that invest in yourself. And that PC is an investment in yourself. It's not just for entertainment, but it's literally an investment in yourself. And that's awesome. But be too careful about talking about specs and stuff with me because I might get the itch to build another one again. And I don't need to do that.
I want to build another one.
Oh, dude, call me over. I'll help you build it.
But I just don't know what the heck I want to.
I'm on the same mission here. Now I need you to come over one day. My CPU, I guess, is making weird buzzing noises.
That's never a good sound. I
know.
Oh no,
that's never a good sign.
Just the fan or the CPU
Mine was
itself?
doing that for a bit too, but then I found out a cable kept getting in the fan.
And it could be as small as that. It could literally be a cable in a fan, like literally. We got a lot of comments in the chat about what people have loved about this year. We've gotten a lot of things about what they hated about this year. But for the last time of this year, we're going to turn the show's power over to you. The power is yours, people.
The power is yours.
We now give it to you, people.
Yeah. So like GQ's in the chat, and he says, of course, Layla Kaylee was the best woman involved with G4, and he is absolutely not lying about that one. She was probably one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen grace TV. Like, that woman was fine as hell, and that accent, oh my God, that accent.
It's the goddamn tag from a.
What are your thoughts on Knuckles in the Sonic 2 movie? More is asking.
Shit. Did you see the concepts?
Huh?
Yeah, I saw the concept. The concepts for him.
The concepts look money. The concepts for Knuckles, yeah.
I haven't seen what he looks like, but I did hear people want The Rock.
They want The Rock to voice. No, okay.
He's gonna take over the movie because The Rock, he's not that side. He's not a side character no more. Everything he's in, he gotta be the starring guy. It's Sonic.
He doesn't
the
have
Hedgehog,
to
not
be.
Knuckles.
He doesn't have to be. He wasn't the starring guy in Moana. He was the main attraction, but he wasn't the star.
He wasn't in that first episode.
It was those two basically on screen all the time.
He wasn't in that first episode of what?
Said he wasn't in that first episode of Transformers Prime either.
Yeah, well, yeah, they freaking murked him pretty fast.
Yeah, that's true. So getting back to so what do we think about Knuckles being in the Sonic 2 movie? I think that cool. I mean, honestly, they were leading up to that in a way, even by showing the echidnas in the first film.
But we didn't even get Tails yet, so that's the weird.
Well, Tails was at the end.
Yeah, but okay, so you're gonna get Tails and Knuckles meeting Sonic for the first time.
They kind of have to at this point because first of all they lost some time.
Yeah.
So to stretch this thing out would be stupid. So to cram a little bit of half of one movie, half of another movie into one movie is going to be okay. The first part of this is Tails on a mission. We probably won't even see Sonic for a while. It'd probably be all Tails, which would be fine. And then afterwards, they give us the Sonic and Knuckles interactions where they're doing their whole beefing thing or whatnot. Boom. Now you have enough of everybody's story to where at least I'd be happy. But the only thing that I'm upset about is they're keeping the same original model from when they first designed Knuckles for the first designs of the movie. With slight
they obviously tried. So obviously it's I honestly,
the whole movie was shut down so they can remake the Sonic one. So the Knuckles one and the Tails one both look just as bad. And instead of completely redoing them, they're just updating them.
I need to watch Sonic again. It's been a while.
Yeah, I enjoyed that movie too.
I really did.
I just hope he says, "What is the Knuckles meme that was going? This is the way.
This is the way. Do you not know the way?
Do you not know the way?
Do you not know the way?"
If he says that, and knowing them, he just might because they put Sonic in there. Yeah. They put Sonic in the first movie. You just might get it.
Yeah,
you might get that.
If they bring in Knuckles and he has an African accent, dude, I'm gonna be dead.
All right, so Wolverine Silent X. Well, first off, I have to rewind the clock a little bit. May says 2020 he was glad to meet Amarak and then getting to meet and talking to us as well. He says he knows he's a dork. Yes, you're a dork, but that's okay. So are we. And we love meeting you as well. That was awesome. Isaiah Williams is right. Uganda Knuckles. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So Wolverine Silent X is asking, will this Metal Gear Solid movie be good? With Oscar Isaac as Solid Snake. I don't know.
You can't go off by the actors in it anymore because like it's so much more to a movie. If they try to do something original, which they can do with Metal Gear Solid easily, the thing is Hideo Kojima has to be involved because he was the reasons why Metal Gear Solid worked, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, 4, I guess.
And how would he feel, right, about Konami optioning his, the movie to his video game property? Would he even cooperate at that point? Because Konami's involved.
And that's the whole thing. From my understanding, he wanted to make movies a long time ago. Metal Gear Solid was one of his ways to make a movie in a video game.
Go ahead, guys.
See, here's the thing. From what I've seen this, like when they did announce it, the movie is going to be under Sony Pictures. And the thing is, Kojima, as of now, has a good relationship with Sony.
Yeah.
So if he wanted to be a part of the making of this film, I'm sure Sony is going to try to negotiate to make sure that like he's a part of that because that's his baby.
Oh
when it's
yeah.
all said and done.
Yeah,
So
but how many characters from the game are they going to put
They're
in
gonna
the
have to pare
movie,
that
first
down,
of all?
like,
Because
really.
a lot of that was writing
it's,
from him.
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Like
saying.
the whole
It's like
Psychomantis thing,
it's
that was
like
pure shit.
as much as I want them to go with like Metal Gear Solid right off the bat as far as movies go, I think we need something to kind of bridge the gap between that and like whatever. Because the thing
You want
is
them to
like
go back to Metal Gear,
I
basically.
personally feel like the first movie being based off the first Metal Gear Solid for PlayStation, I think that's going to be too much of an overload for just a movie. Like I think they have to like come up with something that they haven't told before that kind of bridges the gap between like the early origins, like the like Metal Gear 2,
Oh, touching
like
on basically who Snake is and why he's badass type deal.
right.
Okay.
Like they would have to go through that first because I know a lot of people's first introduction to the series was from Metal Gear Solid, like
Sure.
me. Like I didn't know anything about the first two Metal
No.
Gear games whenever
I
growing
played
up.
it when I
So
was a kid, the first one, and I just
right.
never
So wait,
could get
you
in.
played Metal Gear.
Oh,
I
and
I did not like. Well, Metal Gear was
Yeah.
hard as hell to even. I couldn't even get past the first level.
Yeah, I
Honestly.
wasn't a big fan of it.
You know,
I mean, I
'cause,
probably
yeah, I
could
wasn't a
play
big
it
fan
now,
either.
but
Right, I could play it now and probably get past it, and I'd be fine. But Snake's Revenge, I love Snake's Revenge. Snake's Revenge was cool. I love that. I was a sucker for Snake's Revenge. But so Marcus Smith is saying we need Dragon Ball Super to return in 2021. It might return because I know they're already through the Moro arc. Like the Moro arc is over, and we need to see like Vegeta come and get his shine. Like I need to see that. Although like we talked about before, it ends in typical Dragon Ball fashion. Vegeta shows up, kind of leveled up, got new powers, does his thing. Then at the last second, kind of fucks up, and then Goku has to step in and do the damn thing. So
yeah, I'm tired of seeing
Vegeta-
that. I want to see
Vegeta needs-
Maze is like
Vegeta
possibly
needs
winter
to get a
2021.
definitive W. Period.
Yeah.
Like
Was that?
Vegeta deserves. I said Vegeta deserves to get a definitive W.
Oh,
I mean,
definitive W.
technically,
I'm still
Goku
mad.
never beat him, so
I mean, look, I'm still mad that he wasn't the one to finish off Frieza in Revival of F. Like that.
Oh yeah, me too. That was such a
Man.
cop out. That was such a cop out.
I was so upset. Like, why? I was like, dude, this movie was dope up to that part. I'm
Yo,
like, bro,
no.
are you serious? Like,
Right, cause like, dog, they had it set up perfectly, right? It was like Goku gets sniped from behind, by a laser he couldn't see. I got problems with that. Number one, right off rip. Anyway, I got problems with that. That Goku gets shot by this little puny ass laser and he's out of commission. But it set up Vegeta to get the W, and of course they hold him. As always, I didn't like that either.
I was like, yeah, I was like, damn it, dude. Do you understand how poetic that would have been?
Oh yeah, that would have been awesome.
If anybody deserved that last kill, it was Vegeta.
It was him.
And he
Yeah.
had it. It was like,
Yeah,
bro,
he
come
deserved
on.
that one. He did. He did. Now, for that to end up being that because he didn't kill Frieza, he had to work with Frieza in the Tournament of Power arc. Oh, that was something else. Honestly, Frieza was like one of my favorite parts of the Tournament of Power arc. He was. Because like you didn't know if he was going to backstab them or actually be a team player. Like that was hanging over their heads the entire time. I did not know whether Frieza was going to toe the line or he was going to fuck him over in the end.
Well, Frieza understood that if his universe lost, he was done. So
Yeah,
I think he was like, you know what? I think I need to go along with this,
Right.
or there's not going to be me anymore. Because
And dude, the way he was punking all the other universes too.
dude, I loved how he punked his counterpart Frost
Yes.
or whatever.
Oh,
Frost
yes,
was like a
that
little
was perfect.
bitch compared to Frieza.
Yeah, that was perfect,
Right.
man. I loved it. That was great.
Lupin movie's coming to Netflix. It's not based on anime. Are you talking about a live action movie?
Yeah,
They're
the
making a
it's
live
based
action
on Arsene
Lupin.
Lupin.
Okay.
Arsene Lupin, the original Lupin. Not.
Oh, because
yeah.
I know they just came out with a new CG movie recently.
Oh, they
Yeah,
did.
At least I think
Lupin.
so.
Lupin the
was telling
first.
me about it. We haven't watched it yet, though.
Seeing that.
Was that?
I said, yeah, it's the Lupin the first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing that.
I
at
am
some
too.
point.
The trailer looked really interesting. I'm
Speaking of
Gentleman
which,
Thief. I was
think,
very much looking forward to seeing that. It does look very interesting. Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's what I said. Speaking of which, I think I think it was what they announced it. Was it yesterday or the day before that they wrapped up on the Resident Evil reboot for Netflix?
Yes, they did. They did.
Yeah,
Dude,
kind of
and
looking
the
forward to see where they go with that too. Like that's gonna be kind of cool, even though like Netflix is. I don't know. Like I have a very it's a strange relationship with Netflix right now
mhm.
because it's like as much as I want to just like cancel them, they still have stuff on there that I want to watch that's
Uh,
on the way. You know, it's
Isn't that
like
like the curse of them, man? They always coming out with something that keeps you hooked.
Who, Netflix?
it does,
Yes.
but they also
There's
put
just
but they
there's
also
not
put
even coming
stuff
out
on there
stuff.
that like it's so dumb. Like I'm just like it's like
Yeah.
it's like they
No,
put
I hear
some
you.
weird stuff on there, but at the same time, it's like, bro, okay, I guess.
Oh gosh, another Superman
Okay,
show.
so so King Takeem is saying
Ugh.
who's ready for Superman and Lois? That trailer, I don't know about that trailer, man. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know about that trailer. I
I
don't know about
look,
that trailer.
I haven't watched it yet, but my whole thing is this. Maybe it's maybe I've just kind of had it with like the whole CW DC stuff.
Oh, really?
Like, I don't know, like I'm kind of getting to that point. Like now, I still have to finish the Flash. I still enjoy Flash,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's crazy.
I still
The only one I
enjoy
stayed watching was the Flash.
right,
Everything else
right,
kind
and I
of.
still enjoy Black Lightning, but we only got one more season of that. So
Pooh.
once that's done, all
Pooh.
I'll have left is the Flash. So and
Yeah.
maybe Stargirl. I don't know. I have to finish Stargirl.
Stargirl was good, man. I'm telling you, Stargirl was surprisingly good. Surprisingly
Yeah,
good.
but I don't know. Like I'm just kind of over the whole like
I hear you.
CW superhero stuff because it's like the direction they've been going in, like the last couple years have just
Mm-hmm.
been it's just been a strange turn. And then of course it's like more drama coming out like from over there because of, like the whole Ruby Rose and Batman woman thing. So it's
I'm not watching Batwoman. I don't care if Javicia Leslie, who looks good, I think she might make a good Batwoman. I'm sorry, they lost me already. I'm not watching Batwoman. They had me. They should have kept me when they had me. I'm out. I'm done. I'm not watching it. I might
mm,
maybe I'll check out one episode because I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't. But I'll check out one
right.
episode. But after that, I'm done, dude. I don't care. I don't care about Batwoman anymore now.
Yeah, it's a
I
weird
never
turn in
watched it.
events when it comes to that
Don't
and the
start.
plug.
Don't even bother. Don't even bother
Dude,
starting.
look, that first episode of the first season, dude, like that made me that turned me off so quick
Mm-hmm.
because like it was like it's to the point where like it's just so hammy with what CW like tries to do with these superhero properties. And it's like, dude, like this is like worse than when Supergirl first aired. And it's just like I'm just like, dude, no.
Now,
Like y'all keep this.
I will say this. I will say this though. Y'all know Diggle's supposed to come back, right?
Mm.
Diggle's supposed to come back,
I heard.
and
I
he might
heard.
be the Green Lantern. He might be the Green Lantern. So that's something to check out.
They might end up doing something where they probably like make them like
Man, I love Diggle, man.
a
Diggle was
Spectre or
Diggle's
some
my
shit.
dude.
Like I don't know.
I love Diggle, man. Diggle was my dude, man. That was if there was one thing that I was sad about losing when Arrow finally went off, it was losing Dig, because Dig was my man, dude. I liked him, man. I
The
liked him
thing
like
is,
this.
it took a while for Diggle to kind of get back in my good
Good graces.
graces again because it's like I don't know. I was feeling a certain kind of way for him or whatever. Like after the first it was the first crossover they had after Flashpoint because like
Mhm.
he really upset me. It's like
The way he was
it's
acting,
like
you mean? Like in what way? Like
no,
what
no, no, no,
bothered
no,
you?
no, 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 just story wise, because like the thing when the part when Cisco busted Barry out or whatever about him causing Flashpoint, and
Oh
it
yeah.
told him
Oh,
about like his
because
like
Cisco
how
was acting like a little bitch over his brother.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
like
didn't like that
Diggle
I
either.
didn't
got mad
understand how
at
you even
Barry
knew about it. Why
because
would
like
you
he
get
wound
mad
up
about
having a son
somebody
instead of
that
daughter in the other timeline. I'm like, bro, like you still had the same kid, G. Like what is wrong with
you
like what
just
is you
changed
mad
sex?
about?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it basically wiped out wiped out his whole daughter
Yeah,
and
brought
replaced
in
it
the
with a son. You know,
You can't be mad at that because you still got your kid.
in a way, yes, you could.
It
Because
was
what if
like,
you never?
oh,
What if you never have a daughter? You took
I
that
don't
from
know, but you wouldn't even know that. And even if somebody told you.
But this is my thing. But this was my thing, though. It's like, this is my thing. Barry had no way of knowing that would happen with Flash.
No,
yeah.
Barry
like,
had
really
absolutely no way of knowing. You're right. no way
So,
of knowing
like,
that. But dude, that was straight up a bitch move on Cisco's part, man. I was so mad at him when he did that. I was like, dog, how you gonna bust your boy out like that, man? I was like, over some bitch shit just because, because of an accident that he did. He had no idea that was going to happen. He
was just trying to fix things from his perspective.
Right. He was trying to fix a mistake that he made. Like, shit, dude, like if you were that traumatized over losing your mother again, what would you do?
And lose your father after
and losing
that.
your father. Like, what would you do?
They would have did the same thing.
Right,
Both
you would have done the same damn thing. So anyway, Marcus said absolutely 2020 was
Marcus just said 2020 was very far.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Damn it, Barry. So Jared, final question before we put the cameras up. Gerald D. Boney is asking, are you guys interested in the upcoming Batman Solo the Dragon? Sure. I'm interested.
Kind of. It kind of feels like Enter the Dragon featuring Batman, but
anymore.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I don't think it matters anymore. Like, they reset it with that Superman Man of Tomorrow. But this Batman Soul of the Dragon, it takes place in the 70s anyway. So it's like a one-off. So
I want to watch them. I just don't like, because I didn't watch the Ninja one because you guys were like, oh,
no.
And I like, again, in order to know what good is, you have to know what bad is. And a lot of people think they know what bad is, and they don't really know what bad is.
So you going to watch it anyway?
I will.
Okay.
But I don't know when. But
it's
there was
like,
another Batman one.
If not for the art style in that movie, it would be complete garbage. Cause the art style is the only good thing about it.
Well, see, I don't hate 3D animation. I like
it's that early 3D animation that looks bad though.
Okay, so comparatively to friggin' Berserk, because I didn't mind
Berserk looks better.
Berserk looks better.
Yeah, Berserk looks better.
Fist of the North Star, that 3D one.
Oh wait, what, you mean it wasn't it? Not Fist of the North Star. It was
like Blue,
Fist of the Blue Star, right?
I don't know. Remember? I just know
because that was like Kinshiro's like grandfather or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like Kinshiro's grandfather. Yeah. All right, cameras up, everybody, so we can end the show on a high note for the for 2020.
For the 21
for 2020. Yeah. So honestly, this has been a landmark year for Culture Junkies. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank each and every person involved with that success, from my good friends Dido, Adobe Girl back there, coming in running the show, to my brother GQ, known for a long time. My friends Amarak and Fallen Marvel joining the show, and all of you out there for also making this a very successful year for Culture Junkies across the board, whether we're on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. It's been a lot of fun. I think probably the most fun that we've had doing this stuff for quite a while, and we're gonna keep growing. Next year, let's turn the page. We're gonna do it really big and start the show off with a bang, or start the year off with a bang. Next year, with a great show. Next week, next week we're going to be talking about 2021, our anticipation show, but we're also going to be reviewing Cobra Kai, which comes out on Friday. Cobra Kai season 3 comes out on Friday. We're binge watching it all, and we're going to review it next week. Spoilers be damned, we're going to talk about it. I'm just saying. So be ready and waiting for that show next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Dido, you got a message for our lovely patrons that we got this year?
Well, everybody out there, I'm glad for everybody that watched us, and I would love for you guys out there to become a patrons of ours over at patreon.com/culturejunkies. I got to give some shout outs to those who are our patrons, our top tier level patrons, and we appreciate you guys out there. DeMarcus Smith, Fab, Nerd Life, and Nanette Net. And if you want to shout out just like this with more tiers to come in the future, you can join us. Become a patron. Again, patreon.com/culturejunkies, and help support what we do here so we can continue bringing you great and awesome coverage of the nerddoms that is out there.
That we all love and enjoy. Yeah. Honestly, Next year is going to be a really great one. I promise you, you won't want to miss it. Stay being a part of Culture Junkies. We're going to go places, and we're only going to go there with you involved. So for my good friends, Fallen Marvel, GQ, Adobo Girl, Miao Yin, Super Nerd Plus, King Amarak, Fallen Marvel, this is 2020 as a wrap for the Culture Junkies. We will see you guys next year, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central.
See you next year, everybody.
Have a great one, everybody.